Continuamos con el verbo to be. Hoy veremos el tiempo pasado con pronombres, adjetivos, artículos, adverbios y demás. Lo vas a procesar en tu mente de una manera fácil y automática. Comencemos.
When I was the director of education at Roundhouse Theater, our first year, we did a production of a year.
So I'm going to tell you a very quick story from when I was the chancellor in Washington, D.C. In 2007,
I got into trouble when I was the chief scientist at NOAA.
Piece about me when I was the chancellor, and she got sort of inundated with all this,
in Vietnam. And for me, I remember when I was the forensic anthropologist, we would go out to sites in Vietnam.
So for instance, when I was prototyping when I was the first mouse product manager at Apple many, many years ago.
I'm going to talk about when I was the young Turk,
I remember when I was the person who could write that book.
Interesting.
Much bigger.
Writers, when I was the director of libraries at the New York Public Library.
That first term when I was the Attorney General. And
the first move that I made when I was the comms director is I turned all the lights and cameras back on.
Over the notes that I kept when I was the chief of staff to the speaker.
But when I was the budget director at Air Mobility Command.
When I was the only one that clapped when you said the power.
Helping public safety. And the amazing thing is they actually go together. So when I was the senator in the International District, there's a huge population of.
And when I was the judgmental person, everyone just hated me.
And when I was with the long distance people and they were saying, those sprinters, they're so cocky. They
wasn't stuck when I was the only one in that situation. I look back on that.
I've been vaccinated. And when I was the second time.
Even 10 years ago when I was the House Education Chair and we didn't get it through, but we.
My favor. But when I was the most detached,
times. So this is actually the end of the last time I.
Public. And can I add, when I was the state party chair for the Republican Party.
Had 99 branches when I was the CEO at Border States.
Well, when I was the state.
I got into parkour and free running when I was the age of 19.
And I remember making this phone call to the house, but no one was there. And I remember I had to leave a
state police. And like when I was the colonel, I don't get interference from the administration.
Books. But when I was at the public library, at the Brooklyn Public Library.
In a way that I didn't think about it when I was the designer. Yeah. And that's really cool to see.
Began actually when I was the interim provost.
So when I was the assistant secretary to education.
When I was the age of a lot of the youngsters in this room being.
When I was the itty bitty kitty in a cribby, I was the new hire. When
things bearing down on us when I was the budget committee chairman.
When I was the assistant with the Metro Stars in Major League Soccer.
With stuff on it. When I was the commander of Special Operations Command, so this goes back a few years, but
and I first met Sri in 2011 when I was the first time chief judge of the Google Science Fair.
When I was the interim president, when I came back to be superintendent.
Right, when I was the internet poster child in Silicon Valley and I quit to follow my job, the
New York Times correspondent in Jerusalem, his name's Svi Marks. Very interesting.
Movie. And when I was the script I was given, there had been many drafts.
When I was the store manager, most of my team was very new, and they.
When I was the greatest, the boy in the black suit, All American Boys.
So when I was the 7th Fleet Commander.
And when I was the Maryland Labor Secretary, we commissioned a